what does Google really want? And that's a really good question, because Google is the one, let's be honest, that brings in all the online traffic. So what does Google really want? And it comes down to one word: relevance. Google wants relevance. So if you want to be on the top of the search engine, your site has to be relevant for people who are searching. So for example, I typed in Los Angeles attorneys and it looks like lacity.org came up. And that's because of the 99% rule. 99% of the people who click on this or try to find it, or the majority, let's just say, that is the most relevant to Google. That's what they want, the majority. And I use 99% as what you should use as your psychological premise of trying to think of what you need for keywords. We'll get into that shortly. But before we get into how Google determines your site is relevant within the searches, let's talk about what other people are doing and that you should never, ever do. And this is what typically happens when hiring SEO companies. First, you get all these keywords, or people say, hey, these are all the keywords I want to rank on. And this really happens all the time with us. People say, hey, I want to rank on all these keywords, software, and this and that. And really, most of the keywords they don't represent the site at all, or they kind of do, but not 100%, And for example, we are working with this company, and we're partners with this company actually too. And they thought of using a keyword, best dating sites. And what happens is they will post, Google will put you on the searches for best dating sites. And when you look at the best dating sites, people really want the best dating sites. They want maybe some reviews or whatever, and that to come up. So when people go to the site, and let's say you use the keyword best dating sites, and Google ranked you on the second, third page of it, and you go to the page, people are going to get bored, and they're going to bounce off like Tigger. And so how does Google know your site is relevant? Well, one way is the time the user is on the page, and this is called engagement. The more engaged the user is, the more Google will want to rank your site higher on the search engines. So how does Google know if people are engaging on your site and your site is relevant? And they'll put you on the search engines. Let's say you put some meta tags and keywords for some keyword that you want. And then Google will send a little bit of traffic to your site as a test. And then they'll time that traffic, time people, how long they're on the site, in relevance to the content, how much content's on your site. So if you have, a lot of paragraphs and a lot of things that people have to read, well, Google has a bunch of algorithms that determine, well, you're probably going to have to be on that site for like 5, 10, 20 minutes or even an hour for you to absorb most of that. And if you are on that site for a long period of time, they'll rank you higher and higher. The more time on a page, the better. That's the keyword. The less time on the page, the more likely you'll go down and down and down on the search engines in relevance to the content you have on the site. So that's the general rule that we're kind of using. So what should you do? That's the question here. The goal should be to get your people excited to be on your page. Really. That's your goal. They should come to your site and it should be like Christmas and like, oh my God, I got exactly what I want. And that's what Google wants. They want people to go, I'm typing in something and I'm getting exactly that. I'm getting the best of the best results for that keyword. So remember, Google is doing all they can so people can't trick them to do this. And how do you do this? Well, first you have to ask yourself, who are you talking to? What are they searching for? What keywords are they using? What do they want to find? 99% of the time, and this is really, really, really important. This is the premise of the video and what's going on here. So what keywords are they searching for? You're going to use that in your website. You're going to put those keywords that they're searching for that's relevant to your site, and only those keywords that are relevant to your site. Typically, I don't like to have too many keywords per page. I like to say this is 3 to 4 keywords that are relevant to this page, this site, and that's it. And what people tend to do is they tend to fragment their homepage, and they say, we're this, and we're that, and we're this. You don't want a lot of that. You want to say, we're generally this, and this is what we are. We're Los Angeles, XYZ, or we're very specific about this. your other sub pages within the site. Now you could fragment that and you could say, okay, that's specific to this. So you'll have a dentist and he says, well, I'm a Los Angeles dentist, but then he could have other pages that talks about maybe oral surgery or root canals and stuff like that. But you don't want to put that on your site unless you're a specialist at root canals, if that makes sense. So what keywords are they looking for so they could find you? And what do they want to find 99% of the time? So think about it. So if 99% of your target audience would not use that particular keyword, the rule of thumb is do not use that keyword, period. I see so many people trying to put a lot of keywords on their page, and it's just not working. So what will happen is people will go to your page, they'll get bored, and they'll bounce off like Tigger. Again, you'll go down and down on the search engines, and that's not good. What you want to do is, and here's the 6 steps. Number 1, have the right keywords on your page, okay, like we talked about. Number 2, get placed on Google as a test, and we help you do that. You could place on blogs, you could do a little backlinking and stuff like that. To do that, you could go into other videos that teach you how to do backlinking, but you really want to just let people know about your site, put it on Facebook and stuff like that, and let people know. And then Google will see, oh, they got some traffic, let me rank them a little higher. They'll test you out, and then people will go to your page. Google will see the people go to your page, and they'll see that they're getting exactly what they want. This is a 4th step. And then you'll get ranked higher and higher. They stay on that page. Google will rank you higher. And then people will start even sharing you. So this is really, really good. And Google wants to see better engagement, and they want to see that people are sharing you even more. And they see that as a sign that your site is very relevant to that specific keyword. And then they'll push you higher and higher up on the search engines. And then you don't have to work so hard trying to do all these technical stuff, trying to hire these big companies for $6,000, $7,000 per month and stuff. That people hire SEO companies to do all these things. And what happens is, you'll get ranked high. Google will notice the content's not relevant, and then you'll get dropped down again, and then you have to go over and over through that same process with every single keyword. So that's horrible. So this is the traffic building magical formula that will get you and bring you in tons and truckloads of traffic to your site. And simultaneously, this is what's amazing about this, it's going to create a buying frenzy. So if you have something you're buying, or you want to upsell people on, you want to get their email list, whatever it is, this will create a buying frenzy because this is relevant to them, and they're like, this is exactly what I want. So there's a lot of people who have sites that are ranking high, they're not doing any advertising, and they're getting a lot of traffic because they're giving relevant content. Think about what you want when you go to Google. You want to have a relevant information. You're really like a researcher first. Before you buy anything, you want to kind of research, sniff a company out, see the reviews, and everything. And that's what you really want to do for your client and your customers and your users. Because not only are you ranked high in the search engines, but people actually like your content. What a concept, right? And this is what makes people happy. This is what makes Google happy. And this is how the world is going around and around now. And it's actually a really good thing, not trying to trick Google and give great content. That's actually a great thing, and that's exactly what WikiHow does. And WikiHow uses other procedures and other things to do that. But that's the consensus. That's the overall how to get ranked on the search engines and how to get like $60 million worth of traffic. Of course, they have a lot of content. Remember, always be creating high value content.